everyone. So my name is Sarah, Sarah Scraps on YouTube, and I'm here today with a tutorial creating a mixed media and cut file background using the cut files and the color kit from Clique Kits this month. I am serving as, well, I have been serving as an ambassador for Clique Kits for a long time, but this is my first month on the new term. Creating a video for you. So I have here, I'm just kind of going through the kit. This is the first layout, the first thing I did with the October kits this month, and so I just wanted to get a really good feel of what was in here and what I wanted to do. So every month the Clique Kits has some exclusive cut files that go along with the kit for the month. This month's kit, Seneca Falls, has this one that's more like a title piece. It says weekends with 2 clusters of flowers on either end. I pulled mine, you'll see it here in a second, that I pulled mine into my, oh, sorry, that's my son. My boys like to show me YouTube videos, and I scrapbook in a public area where there's lots of people in my house, so I'm just continuing here. If you haven't seen the Seneca kit yet, this is a great little kind of mini unboxing for you to get an idea of the papers and the things that are in it. And then you can see the cut file at the bottom of my stack of stuff here. So what I did was I went into my Silhouette program, and using my knife tool, I cut away the weekend part of that title. So I just had the flower clusters, and then I've cut the flower clusters partial cutting, so I left it so that they're still kind of attached to the background. Didn't cut perfectly. I'm showing you here that, you know what, it happens. Technology is like that. Silhouette, you can do everything right on a Cameo, and sometimes it just decides it doesn't want to cut. So that's what happened here, but I felt like it was salvageable and that I could totally fix it and make it work for my layout. So I changed the canvas on my Silhouette software to 8.5 by 11, and then I cut out the 4 flowers, and we're going to do 4 photos on this particular layout. So I'm just showing you here some of the things that I'm going to be working with. I'm going to start with the 6x6 paper pad, which was part of the Traveler's Notebook kit. And I'm going to pull 4 patterns that I thought would work really well behind these flowers. I didn't want really busy patterns. I wanted something that had enough solid color that you definitely could get a feel for the cut file, and that it was backed, and that the paper didn't make it so busy that you were kind of squinting trying to figure out what you were looking at. So I'm just going to go through this a couple of times. I pick out these 3 papers, and then I actually end up grabbing one of the 12 by 12 papers from the main kit and using that for my 4th layout. So I left my entire process for this background in so you could see all the choices that I made, and I can talk to you a little bit about why I made those choices. And there's that pink paper that I'm definitely going to be using to back that 4th flower. So because these cut files, because I set these cut files up to be like a background on my page, and but I want to back them with paper, I really needed to be mindful of how I back them so that I don't end up with a big gigantic mess. Let's just call it what it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up the die cut partially, and then I'm going to slip the pattern paper underneath the die cut that I want to back the cut file with. I'm going to grab a pencil, not a pen, a pencil, and I'm going to outline the part of the cut file that will be shown or seen in the, I think I'm looking for a pencil. Hold on a second. Looking, there's a pencil. Okay. And now I'm just going to trace the cut file. I traced it all around just the middle, the outside of the cut file, so I had a rough shape. And then I'm going to pull the pattern paper out and go ahead and cut with my scissors the outline for the flower. So here I have my cut file, and I've cut just inside the pencil line. So I traced it, now I've cut just right inside the pencil lines because you can see how delicate this cut file is. And even with doing it that way, I'm going to have to kind of clean these up a little bit, which I do with an X-Acto knife. Now I'm going to turn my background over, and this is glue from Close to My Heart. It's my favorite glue for backing cut files because it stays sticky, and it dries super clear. It's really easy to kind of get all those teeny tiny little cuts. And the glue is called Bonding Memories. It's a it says dual action glue pen. That's what it's called, and it's fabulous. I have been using it now for a number of months, and I think it's the best glue ever. So I'm just gonna cover the entire back of my cut file with that. And you also saw that I'm gluing this using my Tim Holtz glass media mat, and what that's going to do is so that the glue that gets on that glass mat, it will just come up super easily with a scraper. This is another product I've been using for a number of months now, and I really love it. So I'm going to go ahead and do all 4 of the flowers just like that, slipping the pattern paper underneath the cut file, tracing it out, and then gluing that piece down. Now, because my cut file was so delicate, I have to go back through here and kind of clean it up. This step would not be necessary unless you are a little OCD like me. So, I wanted to make sure that my edges were really clean and really straight. And because I'm doing this on a black background, I felt like it would like really be noticeable to have these little bits of paper just behind, sticking out from underneath the cut file. Maybe not, because by the time I'm all finished, I don't think that you would notice it, but right now you would notice it because there isn't anything on top of it. There isn't anything else. So the next thing I want to do now is I want to cut some paper into squares that will fit behind my flowers. So there's a reason that I definitely wanted these to kind of partially die cut and have still some of it attached to my background paper. That was part of my initial plan in playing with this cut file because I wanted these flowers to be able to pop up nice and high off the layout. So I'm just using my finger here to get rid of some of the excess glue that's on the back of my paper, glue I don't need. And I'm going to go through here. I tried my hardest just to use scraps of pattern, but I did end up having to cut into another 12 by 12 sheet of the paper just to get the colors that I want. Which I'm totally okay with because for me, I scrapbook on a smaller scale. I don't do a ton of 12 by 12 layouts. And if I do a 12 by 12 layout, I hardly ever use pattern paper. So, as my background. So getting some of these sheets cut down into more manageable sizes is totally okay with me. So you saw me there. I have all of these backed, and now we're going to play with the color kit. So part of the color kit this month includes this Prima iridescent paint, which does amazing things when you put it on black cardstock. So I'm going to do a ton of splatters. It's going to look really, really splattery when I'm finished, but the reason for that is because I know I'm going to be putting things on top of it. So I want to make sure that I have enough paint on here that once I get done with my layout, you can still see it. You still know what you're looking at. And because the paint is so pretty and so iridescent, I really wanted to go ahead and use it. So I am splattering big splatters and little splatters and big drops and little drops and really getting a good amount of this paint onto my paper. And when it dries like this gorgeous gold color, and it dries like it doesn't soak in. It kind of sits on top of the black cardstock, but it's also iridescent, which makes it really cool when you look at it and under the light. It's a really cool, fun product. So now we have that all dried, and the next thing I want to do now, and here is why I cut the cut file the way I did. I'm taking 2 regular width foam adhesive, and I'm popping those flowers up on 2 things of foam. You can see here my photos, and that's where we're gonna stop this video. So I didn't want to make this super long. You can find the rest of the scrapbooking process and how I finished up this background over on my channel, which I will leave a link to that below. And I hope you enjoyed this. Here's a sneak at what the finished layout looks like. I hope this gave you some really great ideas on how you can use things like the color kits, your kits from Clique Kits, your October Seneca kits, and also the cut files. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all again later this month. Bye!